There's dinner. Alright. Now you guys sneak up on this very, very quietly. Got him!
We're gonna be eating good tonight. Man, I love me some Cardinal.
Yo! What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Storm the Field with DJ. I am DJ, and today we're here to talk about Week 8 of the college football season. But before we get into that, most of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you guys could check down below that you guys are, that would be great, because YouTube likes to unsubscribe people from time to time. And if you're not, why not subscribe? It's free and it helps push out this content to many more people. Also, while you're down there, remember to hit the like button and comment on this video of what you think is going to be going on in this week's games. But without further ado, let's get into this preview. So the first game I want to talk about, we got another mini rivalry week this week, because we got this the Holy War this week. We got Utah versus BYU. These two teams seem about pretty even. Utah coming in with about one loss and only being to Texas Tech, and BYU coming in undefeated at number 15. Looking at these two teams, they are both pretty even on their stats, meaning that they both have around the same amount of passing yards and rushing yards for each team, so neither is more rush or pass heavy. They both teams have around 1,200 passing yards this season so far. On only about 200 more rushing yards. So if I gotta pick a team to win this one, I gotta go with BYU here. They are higher ranked for a reason, and I think they could actually end up winning the Big 12 this season. Very similar to almost what they did last season. So the next game I want to talk about is between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, both these teams are pretty pass-heavy teams. Of course, Ty Simpson being in the backfield for Alabama, and in the backfield for Tennessee having Joey Aguilar is also pretty good for the Volunteers. They have around 2,000 passing yards on the season, while Ty Simpson has around 1,800 on the season. Both teams enter at 5-1. Tennessee having one loss in the SEC, and Alabama being undefeated in the SEC. Just another game I want to bring up really quick is Notre Dame USC, another mini rivalry game. We're not going to really cover that one, but I think I got to go with Notre Dame in that one. But as for Alabama Tennessee, I got to keep rolling with the Tide. The Tide keeps rolling, and I'm going to keep rolling with them. So let's get into the final matchup before we talk about my two teams. Alright, so the final matchup that we really got is another big SEC matchup. It is a top 10 matchup between the Ole Miss Rebels and the Georgia Bulldogs. Ole Miss, a lot more of a pass-heavy team, almost 600 more passing yards than rushing yards. Georgia is much more of an even team, only 200 more passing yards, and they have around 1,100 rushing yards on the season. So this is going to be a very difficult game for Ole Miss. They are playing on the road in one of the toughest stadiums to play in college football. And so I got to go with the Bulldogs. While I like what Ole Miss is doing, I just think Georgia and Kirby Smart are more talented. I think that they will be a better team, especially at home, and hand Ole Miss their first loss of the season. But now let's get into the games for my teams. This week, we have the Miami Hurricanes taking on the Louisville Cardinals and the Oregon Ducks taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Let's get into those. So, this Friday, October 17th, the Miami Hurricanes take on the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville comes into this game at 4-1, 1-1 in the ACC, and Miami comes in undefeated 5-0. So that is actually really good for the Canes. ESPN gives Miami an 84.9% chance to win this game. This game opened up with Miami as a 13.5 point favorite, with the over/under being at the moment of recording 50.5 points for this game. Leading stat leaders for Louisville, you got Miller Moss through the air, of course, the transfer from USC from last season, and of course Carson Beck. Louisville is much more of a pass heavy team than not. They only have 575 rushing yards on the season compared to almost 1,000 more yards through the air. And Miami is a very mixed team. They usually do like to run the ball more, but they could pass it just as well with Carson Beck back there. Preseason, this was going to be a top 25 matchup, but Louisville just has not been great this season. So I gotta take the Canes in this one with a final score. I got the Canes putting up 45, and the Cardinals putting up 13. I got Miami winning in a 45-13 victory over Louisville. Um, I just think Miami's defense will be way too much for this Cardinals team, and Miami will be able to take care of business on the offensive side as well, especially with Jordan Lyle being back. We didn't see him play much against Florida State, especially since Chamar Brown has been playing great this season. But I think he could come back and easily be good again this season for the Canes. So yeah, let's get into the final game between the Ducks and the Scarlet Knights. Let's do this. Alright, now we got a game between the Ducks and the Scarlet Knights. Both these teams are coming off a loss last week. Oregon with a loss to Indiana at home, while Rutgers comes off of a loss to Washington. Um, Oregon opened up as a 15.5 point favorite. They are now a 17.5 point favorite, with the over/under being 60.5 points. Leaders for this team, you got obviously Dante Moore being the leading passer for the Ducks, having 3 interceptions on the season, only 2 of those coming against Indiana. Um, De'Aaron Hill Jr. playing amazing still. Decorion Moore still playing great. Mateo Uiagalelei also playing great, and Bryce Betcher as your stat leaders for the Ducks. Then you have Anthony Kalikamenis for the Ducks, for the Scarlet Knights, sorry, at quarterback. He has 1,785 yards on the season on 138 completions on 209 attempts and 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Rutgers seems to be a very pass-heavy team. Um, they come into this game 3-3, 0-3 in the Big Ten, um, but they have 1,854 yards through the air compared to only 809 on the ground. Um, Rutgers has lost all 3 of their Big Ten games, losing to Iowa, Minnesota, and Washington. And now this game coming back home against the Ducks, Oregon now has an 83.8% chance to win this game, and Rutgers a 16.2. And I gotta take the Ducks in this one. There's no way I'm picking Rutgers to beat the Oregon team, especially coming off a loss like that against the Hoosiers. I gotta go with Oregon, who's going to be playing with a big chip on their shoulder after that loss to Indiana. Because one more conference loss absolutely ends their run at the Big Ten's title. But I'm going to put Oregon at 52 and Rutgers 10. 52-10. I think the Ducks will take care of business in this one. I think Dan Lanning will prepare him well for this game, and I think they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder after that devastating loss to Indiana. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. As always, if you guys did enjoy, remember to like the video and subscribe down below. And make sure to hit the bell to see when I post videos like this. And yeah, I bleed orange and green and yellow. And DJ out. I'll see you all in the next one.